I know it was quite bad when I was younger, but I didn't know what it was. Flickering lights, the noise, things touching me, just being overwhelmed in my environment. You know how you shake or drop a fizzy drink? Each thing would go until it would explode and just have a sensory overload. I was around 6 when my mum tried to get me an autism diagnosis, and my mum knew, but this psychologist was like, no, you're just a bad mum. Growing up, what made me feel different was definitely my personality was quite different to my peers around me. People would say I was quite rude, or that I was really loud and really talkative, and then I'm holding eye contact. People would tell me that's really rude, like you need to hold eye contact with people. I didn't really know anyone with autism until they kind of brought up the concept. I think it was like beginning of year 10 or something like that. And then that's when I realised that's really me. And I kind of started figuring out who I am as a person and figuring out why I was having sensory problems and anxiety and stuff like that. So it was just a big discovery. Masking to me is putting on an act to act someone different, someone more neurotypical that can self-regulate, doesn't have meltdowns or just doesn't move around or twitch a lot. I didn't really know it was masking, but yeah, I just tried to put on an act just to fit in with other people.
Oh, yeah.
Confident.
You got your free hat. Charlotte, when we finally got your diagnosis, I felt sad. I wouldn't say happy, but almost validated that, I did know there was something there. But I also felt angry. I felt really angry because by the time you were 16, I felt angry about that because you could have had those resources back then. And it makes me wild because I'm also a health professional and I always think, how do other people get on? Even though I did question it, but I still got nowhere. I got laughed at.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest challenges with diagnosing autism, particularly in females, is that it can be quite nuanced. For young people with autism, they're very, very individualized, just like any neurotypical. And so you've got some people that have very much externalizing sorts of behaviors, and then you have other individuals who are much more internalizing. If you're looking at diagnoses and you're looking at only kind of the very obvious, stereotypical, externalized behaviors, then we might be missing something there. What's more helpful is that we get more kind of clinicians on this board of neurodiversity and understanding the challenges of that diagnostic picture.
I just like keeping busy just because it keeps my mind busy. Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for the game. I think it should be good. It's my last actual high school game, so hopefully we win.
Who are coming over as well. All right, so we're going to try a 4-4-2 today. Why not? It's the last game of the season.
I'm quite happy with our result, and it's end of an era. It was awesome. Today was such a really good game. I found out about the Young Neurodiversity Champions through one of my teachers. So the main things we're advocating for is to build a more inclusive education system. So there's a lot of different workshops that have been happening around to upskill teachers and educators and stuff like that. And there's actually never been one in the Bay of Plenty until next month. So it's awesome that there's actually going to be one in a small district, because that's what I've been asking. I'm like, come here, like, we need support here too. It's like nice to have someone else that's actually kind of out of these bigger cities. You know, our regions are important too. How old were you when you got your diagnosis?
I was like very young, definitely comparatively. Like I was like 2 or something. But even though I had my diagnosis, that was like autism and stuff. And my family was like, oh, we're pretty sure he has ADHD too. It was until I was 9 that I got the diagnosis, because it just took so long.
Yeah, like I had to wait a year to get my diagnosis. And like moving from like year 10 to year 11, I was like, would have been better to get it earlier, just because I could actually get that support.
You'd really want that moving into NCA.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel so sad when I hear people saying like, oh, he's like not even diagnosed yet and he can't get medication or he can't get support since he doesn't have a signed piece of paper.
Holding my diagnosis in my hand, it's like kind of like a surreal kind of thing. Like when I got diagnosed, and you know, just having this whole big page of like, you know, explaining what I said in the, you know, during the testing. I definitely think it's helped with me a lot. Just kind of understanding who I am and being like, okay, how can I put my strengths into things? Next year is going to be really different for me, since I'm not going to be in high school. Just being in a new environment, being away from like friends and family, and being in a new city, which is going to be much bigger than here. It's just going to be a big change, and having to get used to that. What I'm most looking forward to is like the opportunities that bigger cities can hold as well. Oh yeah, has it been busy at the op shop?
No, very quiet.
Town was quite busy today.
Oh, okay.
My younger self would never even think I'd be doing stuff like this, and it's just cool to think about how far I've come as well. I feel pretty excited for my future. I think everything will just work out in the end, no matter what happens, but yeah, I'm pretty excited.